VOA News, I'm Tommy McNeil. President Trump says there is a growing humanitarian and security crisis along the U.S. southern border, calling it a crisis of the heart and soul. In an Oval Office address to the American people Tuesday night, he spelled out his case for a wall along the U.S.-Mexican border, but did not declare a national emergency. Speaking for the Democrats in response, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer said Democrats are not opposed to border security.
Make no mistake, Democrats and the president both want stronger border security. However, we sharply disagree with the president about the most effective way to do it.
And Nancy Pelosi, the House Speaker, on the same subject.
We can build the infrastructure and roads at our ports of entry. We can install new technology to scan cars and trucks for drugs coming into our nation. We can hire the personnel we need to facilitate trade and immigration at the border. We can fund more innovation to detect unauthorized crossings.
The president addressed that earlier in his speech.
Some have suggested a barrier is immoral. Then why do wealthy politicians build walls, fences, and gates around their homes? They don't build walls because they hate the people on the outside, but because they love the people on the inside.
The government shutdown resulting from the impasse over the border wall is now in its third week, keeping hundreds of thousands of federal employees home and hundreds of thousands of others working without pay. The Pentagon is denying allegations that U.S. military members were involved or witnessed torture of jailed terror suspects in Yemen. The Pentagon made its denial in a new report to Congress. The Associated Press has seen an unclassified version of that report. It also says U.S. officials have not developed any independent, credible information that U.S. allies in Yemen have tortured suspects. This is VOA News. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan Tuesday rebuked U.S. National Security Advisor John Bolton for demanding that Turkey guarantee the safety of Kurdish fighters in northeastern Syria before the United States pulls its troops out of the country. Erdogan made his comments as Bolton visited Ankara for a consultation with government officials. Erdogan canceled a meeting with Bolton, and Bolton met instead with other officials, including a presidential spokesman as well as the Turkish defense minister. Meanwhile, U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, who is making a Middle East visit, is expected to make an important foreign policy speech on Thursday in Cairo. Edward Uranian is in Cairo reporting for VOA.
In a news conference with Jordanian Foreign Minister Ayman Safadi, Pompeo insisted the United States has not changed its long-standing policies despite President Donald Trump's decision to withdraw from Syria.
This is not just about a particular tactic that we take amongst the coalition. This is about a combined understanding that the most significant threat to the region is Daesh and the Islamist revolution and their revolutionary efforts in the region.
Secretary Pompeo will visit Egypt, Bahrain, Qatar, the UAE, Oman, and Kuwait during his trip. Edward Uranian for VOA News, Cairo.
A court filing shows that former Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort lied about sharing poll data with a Russian contact. We get more from AP's Ed Donahue.
The information was accidentally revealed in a defense lawyer filing that was meant to be redacted. The AP reviewed the material because it wasn't properly blacked out. It says Manafort shared polling data during the 2016 presidential campaign with an associate accused of having ties to Russian intelligence and lied to federal investigators about it. The filing does not say if the polling information was public or what was done with it. Prosecutors say Manafort's lies went against their plea agreement. He pleaded guilty in September. The filing revealed the first extensive details of what Manafort lied about. Ed Donahue, Washington.
A Russian lawyer who attended the 2016 Trump Tower meeting with members of then-candidate Donald Trump's campaign has been charged with obstruction of justice in a case that is unrelated to the special counsel probe but underlines her ties to the Kremlin. According to a grand jury indictment unsealed on Tuesday, she secretly worked with a senior Russian prosecutor in 2015 to draft a false declaration that later used to defend a Russian company in a money laundering and forfeiture case brought by federal prosecutors in New York. And the U.S. Supreme Court Tuesday ruled against a mystery foreign corporation fighting a subpoena believed to have been issued by a grand jury in the special counsel investigation of Russian election meddling. I'm Tommy McNeil, VOA News.